Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Sines and this is my prevention strategy presentation on zoning. So what is zoning? Zoning is an effective practice used to support child's active participation and engagement in the classroom. The purpose of zoning is to increase engagement behaviors, increase staff efficiency, build confidence in preschool staff, and to make communication between staff members easier. Some steps for implementing zoning are to specify the teacher roles, zones, and responsibilities at the beginning of the week, make sure everyone understands their roles and zones, and post a chart in a visible location in the classroom. Some tips for teachers are to create a daily classroom schedule. This is for the children and the teachers to follow. This helps to keep the day predictable for all the members of the classroom and community. Create a chart. This specifies which teacher is in charge and which area and activity, as well as what individual duties are during the transitions before and after the activity. Zoning allows every member of the team to be accountable and informed. Position your body. Position your body so that you are always able to see the children. If you are on your knees in the classroom, be sure to see over the seating unit so that you are aware of the children's whereabouts at all times. Scan your assigned areas and the rest of the classroom at all times. This allows staff members to be constantly aware of what is happening in the classroom. And lastly, talk to other staff members. In the classroom throughout the day, be sure to highlight positive behaviors that you see the children engaging in. You can say things like, "Wow, look at the children trading toys so nicely," as well as address any issues that may arise. Excuse me, I need your help with Oscar to wash his hands. Can you please cover for me? This would be an example of how you would talk to a staff member. Some examples of zoning. In this first image, I have included a classroom where you can see it's broken up into about 3 different areas. So the first professional is in charge of the instruction zone. The second professional is in charge of group activities, and the third professional is in charge of the independent work, which is also a supervised schedule checking zone. In the middle picture, I included a diagram that shows the different times in teacher responsibilities. And then the third photo comes from our PowerPoint presentation where the classroom is divided into 3 equal zones, which include math and science, blocks and sensory, and dramatic play. This third example is the closest to how my classroom is also divided into different zones. How parents might use zoning at home. Zoning at home is going to be pretty similar to zoning in the classroom. Parents should specify their roles, zones, and responsibilities at the beginning of the week. Make sure everyone understands their roles and zones. Post a chart in a visible location, and make sure the parents are spread apart in the home and not clustered together. I've included an image here which shows a home that is divided into different areas that the children may use. So they have a playing zone, a study/reading zone, and a sleeping zone. The parents could divide themselves up into these different zones. So maybe while a child is playing and another is studying, one parent is in the playing zone and one parent is in the study zone. Or if a child is getting ready to go to the sleeping zone and a child is in the reading zone, one parent goes in the reading zone and the other parent helps in the sleeping zone. That way the responsibilities are kind of divided equally and the parents are spread apart, helping each child. Instruction and positive classroom climate. Zoning helps to encourage child engagement and maximize learning time. Zoning is an easy way to organize and utilize staff members. Zoning takes the guesswork out of the classroom duties, and zoning can build staff confidence and create a sense of teamwork. Some resources for my colleagues. I chose the Zoning to Maximize Learning PowerPoint. I think this is an amazing resource, especially if you don't know anything about zoning. It explains what zoning is, what it means, how you can implement it. It has some images to show. So it's really just a great resource to use in the beginning. And then for my interactive activity, I used a basketball team. In this activity, it talks about how you are, quote unquote, on a basketball team. So in a basketball team, there are often a zone defense. This means that your player covers an area of the court instead of a specific player on the opposing team, which would be a man-on-man defense. If a player leaves that area and enters another zone, another player is responsible for him. If a player enters your zone, you are responsible for defending against him. So you can kind of think of your classroom and your teachers as being on a basketball team. So each teacher who is a quote-unquote basketball player is responsible for a certain zone in the classroom, and the children are almost like the opposite team that you're defending against. For example, if one teacher leaves her area of the dramatic play and comes over to my area of the blocks, I will then take over her area of dramatic play, so that we are still spread apart and still all responsible for different zones of the classroom, keeping the children spread apart and all of our responsibilities kind of equally diverse. And then lastly, I just included my resources, 2 of which I pulled from this week's learning. The rest of them I found on my own. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Bye-bye.